When I left the radio yesterday, I was dealing with the false religion of environmentalism, and I was dealing with the holy days of the environmentalist. Paul gives a warning in Romans 1:25, who changed the truth of God into a lie and worshiped and served the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forevermore. Amen. I'm dealing with the premise that environmentalism is a false religion, and that environmentalists worship the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forevermore. We have seen that environmentalism has every marking of a religion, and we dealt with the church of the environmentalist, which would be the United Nations. Then the holy days and hymns of the false religion of environmentalism. Their holiest day is Earth Day, and Earth Day is celebrated since 1971, has been celebrated in March on the equinox. Whenever the equinox falls, that is regarded as Earth Day. All of the environmentalists, all the greenies, observe the matter of Earth Day. In 1978, Margaret Mead, a cultural anthropologist, and anthropology is a study of man, and then you add culture to that, and this woman was a radical. Everything that made the 60s and 70s what they were, Margaret Mead was involved in. And all of the sin and vice and everything that went along with the 60s and the 70s, this woman was right at the center of. She said, giving her support for the United Nations, support of the equinox in March on Earth Day, she stated in 1978, Earth Day is the first holy day which transcends all national borders, yet preserves all geographical integrities, spans mountains and oceans and time belts, and yet brings people all over the world into one resonating accord, is devoted to the preservation of the harmony in nature, and yet draws upon the triumphs of technology, the measurement of time, the instantaneous communication through space. Earth Day draws on astronomical phenomena in a new way, which is also the most ancient way, by using the vernal equinox, the time when the sun crosses the equator, making the length of the night and day equal in all parts of the earth. To this point, in the annual calendar, Earth Day attaches no local or divisive set of symbols, no statement of truth or superiority of one way of life over another, end quote. Now, what Mead said may not seem on the surface to be quite as radical and dangerous and godless as what she is actually saying is. You notice how Mead, in what can be seen as a profoundly religious statement, calls UN Earth Day a holy day. Now, the only holy days to be recognized are those that are enumerated in the Scriptures. And in the New Testament dispensation, we have no holy days. The believer, according to the Apostle Paul, esteems every day alike. A separate Earth Day was founded by former Wisconsin Governor and U.S. Senator Gaylord Nelson as an environmental teach-in to be held on April 22nd, 1970. While this April 22nd Earth Day was focused on the United States, where it is undoubtedly more familiar than the UN Earth Day, it has since gone international and is observed in 141 nations, offering further evidence that Earth Day is a holy day for greens is the fact that various songs are sung on that day, just as observers of most other religions have special hymns accompanying their holy days. UNESCO has deemed a song by Indian poet diplomat Abhay Kumar as the Earth Anthem. Now, again, environmentalism must be a false religion because, again, they have hymns that are a part of their observation. The Earth Anthem to be sung on the UN Earth Day. Another Earth Day anthem is set to Ludwig von Beethoven's Ode to Joy. That the lyrics are this: joyful, joyful, we adore our earth in all its wonderment. Simple gifts of nature that all join into a paradise. Now we must resolve to protect her, show her our love throughout all time. With our gentle hand and touch, we make our home a newborn world. Now we must resolve to protect her, show her our love throughout all time. With our gentle hand and touch, we make our home a newborn world. End quote. That's the second anthem set to Beethoven's Ode to Joy. The environmentalists fail to recognize that God created this earth not as a permanent place, but to be inhabited temporarily. This earth is going to be replaced by a new heaven, a new earth, and a new Jerusalem that will come down from God out of heaven, according to the book of the Revelation. In addition to the 2 Earth Days, there are other special days in the religion of environmentalism. The International Day of Forest, for instance, was established by the UN in 2012 to be observed on March 21st, after Forest Day, not to be confused with U.S. Arbor Day, had been celebrated since 2007 in several countries. The United Nations Water coordinates the celebration of World Water Day every March 22nd to help global citizens focus on sustainable water use and universal access to clean water. One can observe a seeming reverence for the spring equinox in these 2 green holy days. Then, every religion has what is regarded as sacred writings. For those of us that are Bible believers, we have the Bible, and we believe the Bible and read the Bible. So it is with the religion of environmentalism. That religion also has its sacred writings. Most religions feature sacred writings, such as the Christian Bible, the Jewish Tanakh, the Muslim Quran, the Hindu Vedas. Environmentalism, as you might have guessed, has sacred writings of its own. The Earth Charter and the Temenos books. The Earth Charter and the Temenos books. The idea of the Earth Charter originated in 1987 when a United Nations World Commission on Environmentalism and Development called for a new charter to guide a global transition to sustainable development. At the 1992 Earth Summit in Rio de Janeiro, then United Nations Secretary General Boutros Ghali further urged the creation of such a charter. In 1994, the late Canadian billionaire oil man and environmentalist Maurice Strong, the chairman of the Earth Summit, and former Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev, working through organizations they each founded, the Earth Council and the Green Cross International, respectively, restarted the Earth Charter as a civil society initiative. Between 1994 and 2000, the Earth Charter was drafted, and then the final text was approved at a meeting of the Earth Charter Commission at the UNESCO headquarters in Paris in March of 2000. The sacred document was officially unveiled on June the 29th of 2000 in a ceremony at the Peace Palace in The Hague, Netherlands. Comprised of roughly 2,400 words, the Earth Charter is divided into 4 pillars. Each contain 4 main principles One such pillar is ecological integrity. According to the earthcharter.org, the Earth Charter is an ethical framework for building a just, sustainable, and peaceful global society in the 21st century. In my travels, I have heard over the course of my life a lot of National Public Radio, NPR. In my travels, I began listening to NPR when I was a senior in high school. And over and over and over, of course, NPR is so far to the left, they're not public, they're pink, National Pink Radio, they're almost red communists. I hear over and over again this phrase, the phrase, for building a just, sustainable, and peaceful society. I hear that over and over again, for building a just, sustainable, and peaceful society. All of that is the product of the environmentalists and the United Nations. It seeks to inspire in all people a new sense of global interdependence and shared responsibility for the well-being of the whole human family, the greater community of life, and future generations. It is a vision of hope and a call to action, quote, unquote. The Temenos books are a collection of handmade, hand-illustrated books filled with pages of visual prayers and affirmations for global healing, peace, and gratitude. The word temenos, originating from the ancient Greek term for a special parcel of land set aside as a sacred space, refers to, in modern occult parlance, to a circle demarcating a space where one can do spiritual work such as witchcraft or casting spells or things like that. Both the Earth Charter and the Temenos books are in mimicry of the Judeo-Christian tradition, are placed inside what is called the Ark of Hope. Now my time is gone on the program today, but when I come back tomorrow, I'm going to deal with this Ark of Hope, which is a mockery and a copy of the Ark of the Covenant. I hope that you'll be listening to the Bright Spot Hour at that time. God bless you, and goodbye.
Website at thebrightspothour.com. You may write the Bright Spot Hour at Post Office Box 4, Greenville, South Carolina.